Hey there guys, EctoMaster here. We are back in Heroes of the Storm for Heroes Tuesday. And yes, I know I said I was going to do a Diablo themed thing, but you know what? I'm putting that off for a week because Zero Tool became free to play this week and he's the last one I haven't done. And Rexxar was released this past week. So I figured while I still had the chance to do these as the traditional, Heroes Spotlight, I figured I would do it. So we're going to take a look at Rexxar first, and later today we'll see a video of, what's his face? You know, the other guy. That guy. You know, the guy. You know what I'm talking about, right? I know. You know. Zeratul, I just said his name. And this ties in just because, perfectly, because they just did that whole thing with the crazy stuff, you know. They just showed the cinematic this past weekend for the new StarCraft game. Anyways, so let's take a look at Rexxar's skins. We'll look at his skins, then we'll check out his abilities and his talents, and look at a build that I found. There's not very many that are high numbered, so we'll just look at the first one. So here's his base skin. This is him and Misha. And then they got a couple alt colored skins. That one's kind of interesting looking. Then you have his master skin, which is pretty damn cool. He's got like skulls and jawbones all over him. That one's not too bad. And this is if he had been corrupted by the fell energy. And then last but not least, there's Frost Lord Rexxar as well. So he's got themed abilities, so it's a epic skin of sorts, which I do own, so there you have it. That's all of Rexxar. Alright, so those are his skins. That's it. There's not really much else to showcase with Rexxar. So let's ignore Ruther for a moment. Let's find ourselves Rexxar. There he is. Let's take a look at his abilities. So his Q, W, and E. So, Q'd Spirit Swoop. It's a 40 mana cost with a 7-second cooldown. Deal X damage to enemies in a line, slowing them by 30% for 2 seconds. And then there's Misha, Charge. It's a 45 mana cost with a 12-second cooldown. Misha charges in a line, dealing X damage and stunning enemies for 1.25 seconds. Then you have Men Pet. It's a 55 mana cost with a 10-second cooldown. Heal Misha for X health over 5 seconds. And his trait is Misha attacks your enemies, or just Misha. You can have her attack or follow you. You can swap back and forth. And then he has his 2 heroics just like everybody else. His first one, Unleash the Boars. It's a 75 mana cost with a 60-second cooldown. Release a herd of boars that track down all enemy heroes in a direction, dealing X damage, revealing and slowing enemies by 40% for 5 seconds. And then there's Bestial Wrath. It's a 75 mana cost with a 50-second cooldown. Increases Misha's basic attack damage by 150% for 12 seconds. Now that we've seen his abilities, let's take a look at his talents, and we're going to take a look at a build from Lokeling? I don't know. It's Loki Ling? I don't know. It's called Solo Boss Build, and it's only got one positive to it. I will say that it's not a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a very high one. There's nobody who has anything higher than 1 right now, so we'll take a look at this one. It was the first one on there. So, up first, you have a Grizzled Bear. Misha periodically reduces the damage received from hero basic attacks by 50%, and stores up to 2 charges. Hunter-Gatherer and Survivalist training are ones we see quite often, but you also have Flare. 20-second cooldown. Fire a flare at an area, revealing it for 5 seconds. If you've ever played a Hunter in WoW, you know exactly what that does. But now, for this build, they recommend to go with Hunter-Gatherer. At level 4, we have Hungry Bear. Misha's basic attacks heal her for 4% of her maximum health. Crippling Talons increases Spirit Swoop's slow amount to 40% and its duration to 3 seconds. Taking flight increases Spirit Swoop's range by 20%. If Spirit Swoop hits an enemy hero, the mana cost is refunded. And then Easy Prey increases Misha's damage to minions and mercenaries by 150% and reduces the damage Misha takes from minions and mercenaries by 50%. And for this build, this is the one they recommend to go with, Easy Prey. At level 7, you have Blood of the Rhino, increases Menpet's duration by 5 seconds. Throwing Axes increases your basic attack range by 25% and is a passive ability. Aspect of the Beast, Misha's basic attacks lower the cooldown of Misha Charge by 2 seconds. And then Bird of Prey increases Spirit Swoop's damage by 300% to non-heroic enemies. And that is the one that they recommend with this build as well. For your heroic, they recommend to go with Bestial Wrath. We already talked about that, so we're not going to dwell on it. At level 13, you have Wildfire Bear. Misha deals 12 damage per second to nearby enemies. Thrill of the Hunt. Your basic attacks increase both you and Misha's movement speed by 25%. I think they need to fix that by 25% for 2 seconds. Blizzard, I found an error. Print screen. Bare Necessities. Look for those. If Misha Charge doesn't hit an enemy hero, it can be cast again for free for the next 3 seconds. And then Barkskin. Misha takes 50% less damage from abilities for 5 seconds after using Misha Charge. At level 16, you have Primal Intimidation. Enemies that basic attack you or Misha have to have their attack speed slowed by 40%. Critical Care increases the healing of Menpet by 50% while Misha is under 50% health. Aspect of the Hawk. When Spirit Swoop hits an enemy hero, you gain 100% attack speed for 3 seconds. And then Feign Death. It's a 35-second cooldown. It is an activated ability, so it'll be like on your 1 or 2 or whatever. Fake your death, becoming invulnerable and untargetable for 5 seconds. During this time, you control Misha. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And then level 20. For this build, they do say to go with Spirit Bond. Increases the duration of Bestial Wrath by 50%. And Misha's basic attacks heal Rexxar for 50% of the damage dealt. Now, if you decided to go with the summon Unleash the Boars, you do have Kill Command. Unleash the Boars deals 50% more damage and roots for 1.5 seconds. You also have Frenzy of Kalimdor. Your basic attacks deal 10% more damage, and Misha's basic attacks slow the target by 20% for 1.25 seconds. And then Hardened Skin. It's a 60-second cooldown. You and Misha take 75% less damage for 4 seconds. So there you have it, guys. That is Rexxar. As I said, later on, we'll be taking a look at another hero for a hero spotlight. And of course, that'll be Zeratul, and he's the last one that I have. And then starting next week, I will probably do, I'm trying to come up with a clever name for the series. I'm going to think about it for a while, until then. But we are going to record, we're going to have a new hero thing where we're going to go, this is basically Heroes Spotlight. Heroes of the Storm, Hero of the Spotlight. Hero Spotlight is going to, continue on whenever we get a new hero. We'll take a look at them like we do here. But then, we're going to continue playing with the new thing as soon as I figure out a decent name for the series. But that is it for now, guys. I am EctoMaster, and I will see you in the next round. Right.